So on Monday, Apple had their big fall Apple event. This is something that a lot of us Apple enthusiasts wait for every year because it's usually around this time that they, bring up a great line of the new products that are going to be coming up for the new holiday season. But more importantly, we get to see new features that are coming to new phones, new iOS updates, and so much more. But there was one thing that I was especially waiting to see if they would announce, and that was a new iPhone, which they did. I kind of had a feeling that they would announce a new iPhone because it's usually in their nature to announce a new iPhone every year at the fall Apple event. So you're probably thinking in your mind like, great, another Apple phone, another iPhone. This is what, a few new features? No, you'd be wrong when you say a few new features. This actually has quite a few new features, and we're going to be going over these in a multi-part series because honestly, the iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max, and just the 16 in general, have a lot of components inside them that really make me excited, not just as a tech enthusiast, but just as a consumer and a lover of tech. But I want to share really quickly this right here because there's one thing that really kind of caught my eye when they announced this, and that was the best iPhone battery life on Pro Max. Now, that right there makes me that much more intrigued, and my ears are perked up even that much more because if you've been following this channel for a little while, or even just a little bit, I'm a big Apple enthusiast. This is my iPhone 13 Pro Max. I've been using this for over 2 years. We're coming up on 3 years now. Now, there's nothing wrong with this phone. I've enjoyed it every second. This thing's always with me. I shoot a lot of content on it for Apple. I shoot a lot of content on it for YouTube, is what I meant to say. It's always on me, is what I'm trying to get at. But if you're also like me, you may also forget sometimes to charge your phone, or maybe you're traveling and you're using the GPS, you're trying to find some directions, and you're looking at your phone, you're like, oh crap, my phone's going to die. And maybe you're not somewhere where you can really charge your phone, or maybe you're in a kind of a time crunch where you don't really have time to charge your phone. Knowing that this is going to have the best battery life on a Pro Max makes me so excited, because that's one thing that I always look for in a new phone, because I've had several smartphones over the years, and out of them all, and this is going to sound really biased, and you can call my bluff if you want. The iPhone battery life has always lasted the longest because I've had Android phones, I've had the iPhones, obviously, and I've even seen other people, and I've talked with other people who've mentioned that their phone batteries, whether it be on LG or Samsung or whatnot, that they just weren't lasting as long. But for me personally, I've never had problems with the battery life on my iPhone. Now, granted, if I have it for over 5 years, yeah, you're probably going to have some battery problems. But knowing this is going to have the best battery life makes me that much more excited. But really quickly, are you intrigued by this at all yet? Sorry, I had a brain fart right there for a second. Does this intrigue you to kind of look more into this? Because honestly, it does me. And when they announced this, I was actually at work, but I remember watching this and I was like, wow, like I'm intrigued. Like, tell me more, Apple. Tell me more. Tell me more. But I want to go over to the website, the Apple website, and really just kind of talk about some of the features a little bit more in depth with you guys, because if you're like me, you're a visual person, and well, this is the greatest way to dive into it and see the features. So I love this right here, and actually I want to refresh this for you guys because it just looks so fancy. Like right here, this just makes people more intrigued by the way they just present the new iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max. I love this right here where it says iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max. It says, hello, Apple Intelligence. Now, I did a whole video on, Apple AI that's coming to iOS 18 and how excited I was for it. And knowing that you can get this, and that this is one of the first phones that's going to have the Apple AI on it, makes me that much more intrigued to buy it. Now, you're probably thinking in your mind, like, why is this guy like really trying to sell us? I'm not trying to sell you. I'm just saying there's a lot on this that I'm excited for as a tech enthusiast, as someone that's in the tech space. I do a lot of research on phones, on other pieces of tech, and this just really has intrigued me thus far. But I want to go down real quickly and show you guys the pricing, because like, do you guys remember when the iPhone 10 came out and everyone's like, I'm not paying a grand for I'm not paying a grand for an iPhone. Well, apparently people are, because this new phone, like the regular size, the iPhone 16 Pro, it's $1,000. The iPhone 16 Pro Max, which was my favorite size, it's $1,200. Like, I mean, it's and that's for a good reason. They put quality products in their phones. But, you know, obviously there's a lot of expense that goes into it. But I want to go back, because there's something about this that I really am excited about, and that's the colors. You know, people are like, oh, well, they don't do much with the colors. And you wouldn't be wrong. Like, there's a lot of people that are like, they just have the same colors every year, same phone, new colors. And to a point, I would agree with you on that, you know, but to another point, I would disagree with you on that. So we'll agree to disagree. How about that? But going back to it, it says, get the highlights. And we're going to go to the colors here in a little bit. So let's talk about this really quickly. Get the highlights. So it says the first iPhone built for Apple Intelligence, as I mentioned earlier, personal, private, and powerful. Like, I just think that in itself, it sounds so cool. Like, I love that. And then if you go to the next, you know, little highlight about it, it says I can't. I'm getting tired. I apologize for that. So it says, so fast, so fluid. Get a feel for the all-new camera control. Now, as a photographer, you know, I'm a professional photographer. And again, I always have these guys on me at all times. Now, would I show up to a photo shoot with this? Probably not. Like, I would still show up with my DSLR. Just throwing it out there. But knowing that you have that camera control makes me that much more excited, because you're probably thinking in your mind, like, especially if you're an Android guy or an Android girl, you're probably thinking, Tony, Android's already had this for years. And you would be right. You would be absolutely right. But for us Apple enthusiasts, and us who use the iPhone ecosystem, we've never had this. And so these kind of upgrades make us excited, because honestly, knowing that I have more control and more power when it comes to taking photos on my phone makes me that much more excited. But, you know, it's so cool. I mean, that knowing that you have that extra camera control. But even going down to the next highlight, you know, 4K, 120 FPS, Dolby Vision, 4 studio quality mics, and a Pro Studio in your pocket. Now, I create a lot of content via my phone. Now, knowing that, like with this phone right now, I can shoot up to 60 FPS, which is great. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, for its time, this is great. But knowing that I can now, with the iPhone 16 Pro or Pro Max, I can shoot up to 120 FPS, makes me that much more intrigued and excited to get my hands on this and record some video for you guys, especially for this channel. And then one of the last couple the last 3 highlights that I want to go over is, you know, it's our thinnest borders yet for even larger display. Brilliant. Now I'm going to bring this full circle for you guys, because I'm a very visual person. Now, if you look at this is my iPhone 13 Pro Max. Yeah, that's my dog. He's my bud. But you can see that the borders are pretty thin, you know. But knowing that on this one, the borders are even thinner makes me that much more excited, because you have more display. And again, I'm being a little biased. I'm not going to lie. I'm being a little biased. But this is one thing that we're really going to go over, and that is the all-new A18 Pro chip powers unrivaled intelligence and unprecedented performance. Now, you're probably thinking in your mind, like, okay, can you break that down into simple terms? Basically, they're saying that this is the best chip in the iPhone yet. And you're probably thinking, okay, well, Tony, they say that with every video. I mean, not with every video. They say that with every phone that they come out with. And you'd be right. Like, you're not wrong when you say that. But here's the thing. Every year, they always makes a lot of upgrades, and so they always got to upgrade the chip. They got to make sure that it works hand in hand with everything else, every other component in the phone. It just makes sense, right? But yeah, we're going to be talking about that here in a little bit. And then the very last one highlight is this one, a huge leap in battery life. Game on. Now, if you're a gamer like me, you probably have some games on your phone. We all know you have some kind of game, whether it be Angry Birds or Marvel, Snap, whatever it is, you probably have something on your phone. And knowing that these are the kind of graphics that you can get makes me that much more excited, because this is something that, I expect to see the graphics on my PS5, like when I'm playing on my TV, and when I'm playing like Spider-Man, or if I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima, or I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2, something like that. These are the kind of graphics that I'm expecting to see on that. But knowing that I now have this, I'm gonna have this on in my hand, and all this power in the palm of my hand makes me that much more excited. But yeah, going on, let's take a closer look. And these are the colors. And now make sure you tell me in the comments below which one of these colors intrigues you. I'm going to be personally biased that this Desert Titanium, it's probably the color that I'm going to get. When I do upgrade, this is probably the color I'm going to get, because this looks sleek, it looks nice. But they have 3 other colors too. They have the natural titanium, they have the white titanium, and they have the black titanium, which also looks really sleek. If that's more your color, cool. So this is the display size, if I can get the words out of my mouth, for the Pro is 6.3 inches, and for the Pro Max, it's a 6.9. Now, it looks really nice. It looks very fancy. And honestly, there's a lot about this. And I'm really genuinely intrigued with how nice this display looks. But going on, I love this part right here, the Strength, Beauty, Titanium. Now, you're probably thinking in your mind, like, yeah, they do have strength, but are they durable? Well, we're going to be covering that here in a little bit. They are very beautiful phones. This is the green. I love this color. This is one of my favorite features of this, is that it's that green color, because that's one of my favorite colors. But knowing that it's also titanium makes me that much more intrigued, and much more to the side of, okay, I think I'm going to upgrade. My throat's getting very dry right now. But, kind of going on. I mean, look how sleek that looks. That looks so nice, in my honest opinion. Man. So let's read this and talk about it for a little bit. So it says, iPhone 16 Pro features a grade 5 titanium design with a new refined microblasted finish. Sounds really nice. Titanium has one of the highest strength to weight ratios of any metal, making these models incredibly strong and impressively light. iPhone 16 Pro comes in 4 stunning colors, including new Desert Titanium, which is my favorite color of the phone. And then, going on over here, it says internal design improvements, including 100% recycled aluminum thermal substructure and back glass optimizations that further dissipate heat, enable up to 20% better sustained performance than iPhone 15 Pro, so you can do all the things you love, like high intensity gaming for longer. That right there just makes me intrigued, because we've all been there on road trips. We're just like, oh my gosh, this road trip's so boring. I'm with my family. Like, I love my family. If they're watching, I love you guys. But you want to have the capability of being able to play games on your phone a little bit longer, especially like if you're out in the middle of nowhere. Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Like, that's kind of how I am. Like, if you're not like me, then I mean, that's cool. But going on. Let's scroll down. It's like, I mean, look at this. It says right here, the iPhone 16 Pro Max has our largest phone display ever. And I mean, just look at that desert titanium. I almost said desert gold. Desert titanium looks so gorgeous. And it says the thinnest borders on any Apple product, which is really nice. High grade titanium is exceptionally durable, which is also very helpful. And it says 4 sleeking colors from black titanium to new desert titanium. And I especially like this durability that they talk about, because if you're anything like me, look, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Let's see here if I can find it. On this phone, because I did a no-no with this. I actually had this for a little while before I got a case. I know you can chastise me in the comments if you want, but I did get a phone case. But I remember the first few weeks I had this phone, I dropped it at work, and I don't think you'll be able to see it, but like right along there, it's kind of rough because I dropped it and it literally landed on the ground like that. And I was like, no! Like, I was so frustrated about that. And so knowing that it's more durable makes me that much more happy and more at ease. But I really want to get into something, and that is going down here, because actually, before I do talk about that, I want to talk about this. The 16 Pro, splash water and dust resistant. Sorry, the 16 Pro is splash water and dust resistant. It is also our latest generation ceramic shield material that's 2 times tougher than any smartphone glass. Talk about durable, which I need, because I'm a klutz. And so here's that Apple Intelligence. We'll go over that in another video. But I really want to talk about the camera control, because as a photographer, this is such a cool feature to me, knowing that you can have this extra camera control button, which makes me that much more happy. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I'm going to take a photo, like especially on my iPhone, like knowing that I have to sit there and I have to, type in my passcode or, do face recognition, and then I have to, open up the it's very tedious. It's very tedious, knowing that, there's my face right there. But knowing that you have to do all those steps is very tedious to me. And knowing that with this, you have that extra camera control button. Oh, I cannot wait to get my hands on that. That's going to be fun. That's going to be a lot of fun. It says, now take your perfect photo or video in record time. Camera control gives you an easier way to access camera tools. Simply slide your finger to adjust the camera functions like exposure or depth of field, and toggle through each lens or use digital zoom to frame your shot just how you like it. Later this year, camera control will introduce a 2-stage shutter that lets you automatically lock focus and exposure with a light press, so you can reframe your shot without losing any focus to your subject. And as a photographer, I love that. It sounds so intriguing to me. I love this so much. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Look at this. It says click to launch the camera app. Click again to instantly take a photo. I love that. And also the fact that it has in video mode, it says click to start recording. A light press options, controls like zoom. And then with a double light press, you can now select another camera setting, then slide and adjust that setting. I think that is such a cool feature, man. In my honest opinion, again, you're probably thinking, yeah, this is great. Androids already have this. Yeah, you're right. But we've already gone over that. This is new for us Apple enthusiasts. Oh, man, there's so much. And we're going to talk about this in another video, the 4K 120 FPS video. But there's one thing that I really want to talk about, and that is the chip. Having the chip that I have in this phone that I currently have, I'm going to bring this full circle. Knowing that there's going to be the A18 chip, core power chip, is going to be, the A18 chip is what I meant to say, is going to be that much more powerful, because the chip inside this is very powerful. I kind of honestly regret not doing a product review on this, because this thing's amazing and it has a lot of cool capabilities. But that, along with knowing that you're gonna have better camera control, you're gonna have better battery life. These are just 3 things that honestly makes me that much more excited for the iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max. And honestly, I'm going to leave a comment. I'm going to leave a link in the description. Well, a couple links to the Apple iPhone 16 Pro video. I would show it to you guys, but they would have blocked it. And then also their website. But make sure you guys tell me, in the comments below, are you excited for this? Because for me personally, I'm thoroughly excited for this. There's a lot of cool updates and big features coming to Apple, and we're going to be covering those. So make sure you stay tuned and make sure you're subscribed. And on that note, I will see you in the next video.